Now, on another matter, Madam Chairman, the Senate continues work on a number of important priorities. This morning, I joined a number of our colleagues in the first conference committee meeting for the Farm Bill, including the occupant of the chair. Others of our colleagues are continuing to confer with the House on appropriation bills so we can stay on track with respect to funding the government. The floor this week, we'll continue attending to personnel business. We voted yesterday to advance the nomination of Eli Roseman to serve on the Securities and Exchange Commission. After we confirm him, we'll turn to 8 more highly qualified district court nominees. And, of course, the nation turned its attention yesterday to the start of Judge Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation hearings to serve as Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. Those who turned in heard about a well-respected judge and well-respected professor with flawless judicial temperament and integrity, someone who makes those around him better. They heard these accounts from a former U.S. Secretary of State, a sitting U.S. Senator, and a prominent liberal litigator with extensive experience before the Supreme Court. And from Judge Kavanaugh himself, they heard about his guiding principles. Among them, interpret the Constitution as written, informed by history and tradition and precedent. In some, the American people saw the impressive, talented, measured jurists they've heard so much about. But unfortunately, the country also saw disappointing displays of attempted partisan obstruction. So, Madam President, the rude, disrespectful, and boorish behavior we saw yesterday in the Judicial Committee was a confirmation hearing equivalent of an abolish ICE protest. A confirmation hearing equivalent of an abolish ICE protest right here in the Senate Judiciary Committee room. Well, I guess we shouldn't be too surprised. The antics confirmed 2 things that our Democratic colleagues have told us before. Their minds are already made up. They already made up their minds about the Kavanaugh nomination, and they'll try anything to stop it. Democrats interrupted Chairman Grassley literally scores of times. They treated the nominee rudely, even insulting the patriotism of this devoted public servant and highly esteemed judge. And they offered one stale process complaint after another, completely ignoring the fact that more documentation has been produced for Judge Kavanaugh's nomination than for the last 5 Supreme Court nominations combined. So, I guess our Democratic friends' coordinated plan was to throw a pot of spaghetti, just throw a pot of spaghetti at the wall and see if anything sticks. Well, nothing stuck. Nothing stuck except the complete contrast between a gracious, thoughtful, patient nominee and the hyperventilating by Senate Democrats who are obviously not interested in giving Judge Kavanaugh the fair consideration he deserves. 500,000 pages of documents, 12 years of opinions, the testimony of peers and colleagues across the political spectrum. Any member who's actually willing to give Judge Kavanaugh fair consideration has every tool they already need to do so. So I'd implore my friends across the aisle, let's put the partisan theatrics behind us. It's rather embarrassing to see that in the Senate, and continue these hearings with a dignity befitting the serious task before us.